Hello, this is Ruben with another demonstration of Ainara. It's been a while since I did my last demonstration, and well, many things have happened with Ainara. Now we have uh, this nice testing package executables both for Windows and for Mac OS for the Apple Silicon platform. Um, it's been a lot of work to transform which I had running in Linux in my machine into this, but well, now Ainara can be distributed and installed, and I'm going to show you step by step the process of installing and configuring Ainara. So first of all, we'll download the application for Windows, of course, which is the platform I'm running now. Okay, now we open the executable. This is normal. This is because the app is not signed yet. Well, I have to buy the sign from Microsoft, but well, the application has been generated in GitHub. It's pretty safe. You can take my word for granted. So I'll execute the application. And now it's going to install. The install process takes a bit, so I'll cut this from the video, and I'll be back with the setup wizard to explain you the setup wizard and what to do on each part. Okay, so this is what we will see whenever Ainara starts. We install Ainara for the first time in any computer, and we will see this setup wizard, and first thing we will find is the Oyama setup. In here we can install local models, and well, this will only work if we have Oyama installed, as I have in here. And to download new models, well, we have a featured model the Quen 2.5, which is the model I've been using all the time to develop Ainara for 14 billion parameters for I'll say 12 VRAM cards and 32 for bigger cards with 24 gigabytes of VRAM, like the RTX 3090 or similar top model cards. So if we want to download new models, we can click in this nice link there and search for models. Let's say Quen 3. We will enter in the page of the model, and in here we will select the quant. We will decide, pay attention to the size, because the size has to be smaller than um, your card or your available memory. You have to calculate at very least a few gigabytes more for the context memory. So for example, for my RTX 3060 card, this model fits nicely the 14 bytes quantiset model. But now, for the purpose of this demo, we're going to use closed models. But if we will want to install a model, we will click in here, the model name, and paste it in here, and click over download model, and Ainara will do the download for us and add the model to the system. As this model we have already here, which if I go to the LLM provider selection, you see this Oyama model appears here as a configured provider. Now for the purpose of this demo, I'll add another configured provider. This is my test AI server. The server is running, so the connection is successful, and my AI server is already configured as the default provider. This is the speech to text setup. In the future, maybe we could use cloud providers for that, but for the time being, we are just using the library that Ainara provides, which is Faster Whisper, which works quite well to recognize voice. In here, we will add the APIs keys. This is only for the skills of Ainara that will need API keys. So, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have a finance skill, several engines used for the web search capability of Ainara. Ainara searches in all those engines at the same time. And then a skill for the weather. So in order to get the API keys, we have the link in here. We should visit those keys and those sites and retrieve a key and paste it in here. Now the MCP service. MCP is well, a hot topic right now in the world. MCP is a standard which allows AA assistants or AA agents to have new capabilities. Could be hub automation, or could be one of the prettiest examples, which I'll use for this demonstration, is Google Maps. It's very nice to be able to ask Ainara between two cities, for example, how much kilometers are in between both cities in these random cities in the world, and the travel time, for example. That's some information that Google Maps can provide, and thanks to the MCP protocol, we can integrate in the AI agents now that functionality. So let's say we want to add a new MCP server. So for that purpose, we could visit our page like this one, mcp.so. Let's look in here for Google Maps. Here we go. This is the Google Maps page, well, describing the Google Maps MCP server. This is the tools that the server adds to the AA agent. And here in content, we have the details about how to configure it. There are two options, Docker and NPX. We won't use Docker for Ainara, but NPX, which is an utility embedded in Ainara. So we have in here the details, and we have to copy that manually. Maybe I'll do something better in the future, like have some servers defined predefined in Ainara. But by the time being, we need to introduce manually the data. So let's add, for example, server name Google Maps, prefix Google Maps as well, and commands. We pay attention in here. You have the command and the arguments you need to use. So I'll add those commands, npx and this -y and the server itself. And if you look into here, you see there's an environment variable we need to copy as well. So let's add environment variable. This is the variable that the MCP server needs to define. And in order to make it work, we need a key, which is associated with this variable. And where to find that? Well, in the paid website I recommended you, there's a link in here. And in here we have the instructions from Google to get the API key, which we will paste in here. And that's it. We will have a MCP server configured. Now, next step, we have the default keyboard shortcuts of Ainara, which we could change if we want to. And next and finally, we will have a summary of the capabilities of Ainara, the option to start Ainara minimize if we want in the system try, and we will start Polaris. And now I'm going to cut the video and put in place my real configuration, which has all my API keys. I'll do a little demo of the MCP server working. Okay, so we have now our nice API keys in place, or MCP server configured. For the purpose of this demo, I have now configured in Ainara many LLM models, DeepSeek, Grok from XAI, OpenAI, GPT 4.1, Anthropic Cloud, Haiku, Fireworks, which is a nice AI provider as well, very fast, Gemini from Google, the Oyama local server. Well, for the purpose of this demo, I'll use the XAI Grok server, which works very well with Ainara and is a very nice model, cheap and smart. And I'll ask Ainara for the time and distance between two cities in Spain. Hello, can you give me the time and distance for a route between Malaga, Spain and Barcelona? And let's see if Ainara uses the Google Maps skill.
Let me pull up those directions for you.
Here we are. You can see the UI.
The driving route from Malaga, Spain, to Barcelona covers approximately 966 kilometers and is estimated to take about 9 hours and 41 minutes via the AP7 highway. The journey primarily follows major roads and highways, starting with local streets in Malaga such as heading east on Puente de la Esperanza and continuing on to Avenida de la Rosilda, then transitioning to highways like A45, A92, A7, and AP7. Key segments include merging onto A92 for a significant stretch through Andalusia, continuing.
Well, you see, we get a detailed description of the route, and well, I could show you. I like to show you how the UI has improved. So, for example, let's do a web search. Please give me an update about the recent events about the protest happened in Spain against the government in Madrid. This is a protest that happened yesterday, Sunday, in Madrid. Let's see if Ainara is able to find information.
Let me fetch the latest news on that for you.
You see the skills introduced in natural language now, which is better for the flow of the conversation.
Recent protests against the Spanish government in Madrid have drawn significant attention, with tens of thousands of people rallying primarily on June 8, 2025, to demand the resignation of Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez amid allegations of corruption. These demonstrations were organized by opposition parties, such as the People's Party, and focused on calls for new elections due to claims of government misconduct. Estimates from various sources suggest turnout ranged from 45,000 to over 100,000 participants, with protesters waving Spanish flags and criticizing the Socialist Workers' Party. Other recent events include smaller-scale protests related to similar grievances, though most activity reported is from the past few days. For more details, you can check these sources. TheGuardian.com, France24.com million.
Okay, so let's say I want extended information from the Guardian, but I want Ainara to do that for me. There's one skill from Ainara which I didn't show a lot, which is the capability of reading an article. So I'll do that now. Please retrieve the content of the article from the Guardian and do an extended summary for me. Not always the websites allow bots to access and read the article, so let's see how this works. If Ainara has the possibility.
Let me fetch that text for you right away.
Well, the skill was right, at least.
Here's a summary of the article from The Guardian dated June 8,
Okay, and it worked.
2025, about the protests in Madrid. Tens of thousands gathered in central Madrid to protest against Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's government, demanding an early.
And finally, I could, well, this is something I showed off many times before, but I could ask Ainara to open the article in the web browser. Thank you. Please open now in the web browser this article so I could read it in the browser. And let's see if Ainara picks the right skill, which is open.
Let me.
Yeah, here we go. Here I have all the articles. In between them, this article from The Guardian. Okay, guys, thank you for watching.